If you've never heard of the Paralives Developer Weekly Chat, it is a weekly chat for Hero and Legend tier patrons for Paralives, where they can ask any questions for the devs to answer that they want. Within reason, of course. And then approximately a month-ish later, they will bring these questions out for the public, for those who aren't of the high tiers on the Patreon account, or on their Patreon. They'll bring these out for the public to be able to read. The 6th of December's Developer Weekly Chat, they asked some really good questions. The Community's Choice question had asked if they were going to do something similar for cooking like they do for the collectible postcards, such as recipes and so on. And Alex, the lead dev of Paralives, answered and said, "We're interested in a system like that where you can learn new recipes, such as Stardew Valley, where you can find new recipes on TV channel, or Spiritfarer, where you can find them in new regions." And says that he's looking forward to seeing if it's possible to add eventually. Another Patreon asked if adoption or science babies, like they are in The Sims, will be available in the game. That was answered by Anna, one of the developers, and she said that adoption will be available, but science babies are at the moment not in the game, but they are considering it. Someone said, can we expect to see more videos like building a chalet? Many features were added and changed from this time, so it would be wonderful to see a full update. And Alex responded that it would be nice. They recently released the Dream Office build, but it's true that it wasn't a build time-lapse video, it was just the result. They are focused really hard right now on the live mode, and since they're a small team, they're not going to have much time left to prepare and release build mode videos. But it is possible that they will do one before the game is released. Another question that was asked is, how many colors can you assign to an object? They responded that currently an object can only have 4 recolorable areas and 4 materials. And they said that's why some objects have areas that have their own unique textures that cannot be recolored. It's a workaround that they sometimes have to use on objects that require more details and colors. Another user asked, how might the environments and items affect the paras through gameplay? And then they give some examples of what they mean, such as some things being sentimental and passed down, items that evoke emotions and memories, gifts that are meaningful, and so on. And the devs responded, we've thought about things such as these, and there's a lot we could do, but our priorities at the moment are more around how the paras' personalities themselves affect the gameplay, among the development of other core systems. And he goes on to say that might mean that specific paras react in specific ways to some items or some situations where items are present, but they are not focusing their design efforts on that side of things just yet, such as the environment affecting the paras. A user asked, do you have an idea or a plan of how you want to go about making the patron-made parafolk? And they say that for those who are at that specific patron tier, they're going to have a template to fill out, requesting pictures and info on the character. And they're going to be sharing more info about that later on this year. And their big plans for the remainder of the year is tweaking some live mode features mostly. Someone asked, with the year closing out soon, what are some of your favorite moments that happened in 2024? And what are your plans for 2025? And the dev teams have answered and said, creating the disability items and seeing the positive feedback from them was a highlight. Going into the questions about live mode, someone says that I hope the schools and job rabbit holes are progressing well, and the dev team have said that they are. They're focusing on schools, but it's been fun testing the system with new content. Someone asked, in the future, do you think you're going to add a little gameplay to the Christmas tree, similar to how The Sims 4 Seasons did it, where you can start with a bare one and in live mode choose to decorate it, possibly with others, with a tree skirt, garland, ornaments, and a topper? Anna, one of the devs, responded that she's not super familiar with the Sims 4 way of doing it, but it seems quite fun, but it is not something that they've been considering for now. They feel like it would be quite far in the priority list since it's very specific to Christmas. And they have a lot of core features to do to make social events even work in the game. Another patron asked, will holidays and events be customizable, where you can create custom holidays and do certain actions that check off a list? And the response there was, we plan to make customizable holidays and events. Holidays and events should come during early access though. In other words, they haven't developed it yet, but it is on the list of things to do once the game is released in early access. Another user asks if there would ever be a feature to go clothes shopping for new outfits. One of the devs responded that they do not have clothes-related gameplay, and everything is just usable as is in the Paramaker, but it could be something that they tweak or improve on down the line. Some build mode questions. Someone asks, in the disabilities post, many decor are placed in interactive objects like beds, stoves, etc. I always wonder how the game will behave when parafolk use those objects. Are they placed like that just for showcase purpose? And one of the devs said, note that a lot of these items are purely decorative and not functional. The functional items will not always be the same as the ones placed in your scene. For instance, you may place a pan in your scene, but it is not the one paras will use to cook. The ones used for cooking will pop into existence when they are needed. It's not the case with all items. For instance, you place a guitar in your scene and your para will have to go to it to use it, but for smaller items, it would easily cause problems with pathfinding and trying to find space to put down the pan. So to answer the question, the items are currently placed in the scenes for showcase purposes, but you'll always be able to place them on your beds, stoves, etc. We don't have the details planned out yet for these, and the dev says that they believe that players will still be able to place items in inconvenient places just to add to the house decor, but maybe some animations will clip in the objects that you placed. Another question was, what number of homes, venues, lots can we expect in the world? And the devs answered, while we've been working on our first town, we haven't set a size goal in stone just yet. When we have more info, we will be happy to share it. The final question is, I remember something being mentioned about rabbit holes, that it would be possible to edit their facades. Is that still the case? And will the buildings be made through build mode itself, or will they be pre-made? And the devs answered, buildings in town will be made using the build mode itself, whether they are rabbit holes or other kind of venues. That being said, because our town edition tools won't be available at early access, it might not be possible to edit them out of the box. So there you have it, my friends. That is the most recent Developer Weekly Chat from Paralives. I hope you enjoyed this. Remember to sub to the channel for more Paralives news as I get it. And thank you for watching. Bye!